Tableau Online provides a number of different ways to keep your data in the cloud up to date. If your data is stored in Google Analytics or Salesforce.com, you'll be able to automatically schedule refresh updates and have Tableau Online pull the data from those different data sources. However, if your data is on-premise and behind a firewall, there are a number of different tools that Tableau provides to help refresh your data in the cloud by pushing that data to the cloud. Let's first look at a Google Analytics scenario. So here's a data source that I have pulled from Google Analytics. With this data source, we're going to publish the workbook to the server. Now, because this comes from Google Analytics, I can actually provide a schedule to refresh my extracts. If we have a fixed start date, we can actually go ahead and do an incremental refresh where we'll pull only the new rows that have been added. Or I can also do a full refresh. Maybe once a week I want to do a full refresh of that data source, and I can schedule that. I can do one or the other or both. And just like that, now we will automatically refresh that data source in the cloud automatically with Tableau Online. However, if your data is on-premise, such as this one, in this case the data is coming from a SQL server, Tableau provides a number of different ways to keep that data in the cloud up to date. So we'll go in Tableau Desktop. And here is the same workbook that we had on Tableau Online, but in Tableau Desktop. And you can see that this data source was refreshed earlier today. Now, by using the data server, you can go look at Data. You'll see an option called Tableau Data Server, and then select Refresh from Source. When I select this option, and of course I always have to authenticate to make sure that I'm able to access this data source. When I define this option, I'm essentially using Tableau Desktop as a proxy between my data source and the cloud. And just like that, I've now manually refreshed the cloud-based data source, and you see now that new timestamp that matches the one on my desktop. So that works great if you're going to manually update those data sources and you want to do that at your own time. But there are other moments where you want to be able to schedule this and automate a refresh extract based on a given schedule. Well, Tableau provides a number of batch scripts that you can use in order to keep that up to date. Here are some examples of those batch scripts. If you are using data coming from an Excel spreadsheet, for instance, you can use an option like this. If your data is coming in from a database server, you can run one of the two scripts. Or you can even have a file that contains the various options. So lots of different ways to get that data updated in the cloud. Now in this case, I've already defined one of these batch scripts, and I'm just going to run it from the command line. We'll say refresh online. It's going to do the same thing that we did manually on the desktop, but now through that batch script. And there you go, that data source has been updated. And now when we come back to Tableau Desktop, just note the time. We'll just refresh our data source to get the latest data from the cloud, and just like that, at 4:26 is when we refreshed that data source. And these scripts can be automated and scheduled using any scheduling tool, including Windows Scheduler. And you can define how often you want your data sources in the cloud to be refreshed.